What's up, party people, and welcome to Stoniecast number 163 and season 5, episode 25 of Thoughts and Hunches, making money in bunches and sucker punches. It's your boy Stony coming back at you for the 163rd time, and I'd like to welcome all of my fellow scumbags, lowlifes, hoodlums, heathens, shady characters, scoundrels, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, hustlers, wise guys, people that give themselves nicknames and speak in the third person, completely unacceptable. Foul-mouthed raging alcoholics, MLB players that have got into a fight with Bryce Harper. You know who you are, and I know that you're listening. Cheats, disasters that take pride in a $4 profit on the WNBA, also 100% completely unacceptable. Gangsters, fienders with abusive language, fugitives on the run from justice, and degenerates. Let's face it, anybody with a massive gambling problem. If you're new to the show, hey, you probably fit into one or a few of those categories, so welcome, because you're one of us. One of us. One of us. One of us. Gooba gabba, one of us. We accepted one of us. Sorry, sometimes I get a little carried away. Hey, make sure you hit the subscribe button right down here in the lower right-hand corner and ring that bell. That way you can get notified every time I put out a new video. To spread the word's also very easy. Just tell other scumbags and degenerates, to go to YouTube and enter Thoughts and Hunches in the search bar. That'll take you directly to my page and you can get dialed into everything I drop on you. Also, if you're new and you don't know what's what with this channel, it's college and pro football winners, MLB playoff winners, and college basketball winners. The books don't expect a guy like me to come in and deliver this many winners, right? That's what I do. I'm an outlier and I'm a disruptor. I'm like the Beastie Boys. I disrupt.
Step inside the party, disrupt the whole scene.
Yeah, something like that. I go to the mattresses every single week to get you to the window with a ticket to cash. That's the key, right? Now, before I get to the picks, as usual, guess what? I have some thoughts.
Give me all you got! Listen, give me all you got!
That's right, Al. Tell them. Since this Stoniecast concentrates on sports wagering, how can I not start right away at the top without discussing Ippy Mizahara? Remember him? Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. Well, good old Ippy is back in the news as he's taken the word degenerate to another level. Yesterday, Mizahara was sentenced to just under 5 years in prison for stealing about $17 million from Shohei to repay gambling debts. I mean, this guy makes Josh G and Vinny B look tame. I thought they were degenerates. Come on. I mean, last summer, this guy pled guilty to bank fraud and filing a false tax return while admitting that he placed approximately 19,000 bets over a 2-year stretch and racked up $40 million in debt. In this Stoniecast, I put out about 2,500 bets per year on average, and y'all think I got a problem. This fucking guy placed 27 bets per day on average. Hell, I even take 4 months off in the summer. Not Ippy. 40 million debt? I'm officially cordially inviting him to tune in to Thoughts and Hunches while in prison, because I haven't had a losing year since I started this back in 2020. I want to see who this clown was betting on. 40 mil over 19,000 bets? That's an average of $2,100 per bet. Ouch. Ippy, don't drop the soap. Football season's over as of this Sunday, so it's time to completely concentrate on college hoops through the national championship in early April. Last week was proof positive about what I can do when only college hoops are in my sights. A massive weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday guaranteed me another winning week as I just kept stacking W's on top of each other because there was no football to distract me. There is a football game this weekend, though, someone told me. And it's mainly fun because this is it for football until August. With a lot of prop bets and a ton of college hoops tomorrow, I don't want this to be an hour-long Stoniecast, so let's take a look at the updated numbers. Last week, 51 wins, 34 losses, 1 push. Smack dab on the nose, 60%. Hoops only are sure to see a rise. NFL playoffs, I'm 12-11-1, 52.17%. 2 bets left, the side and the total on Sunday. Overall, all 24 weeks and over 1,700 plays that I've given you, I'm at 995 wins, 730 losses, and 15 pushes. 57.68%. Numbers on the rise like that can only mean one thing.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Please remember that all these picks are 100% free, right? So for all you touts out there that are giving you 75 to 80% winners, come on, stop. We all know that you're full of shit. Plus, you're charging for these picks.
Oh!
Yeah. I mean, really? With me, all you got to do is come to YouTube every single week, and I'll drop my plays on you for free. All right, you ready? Away we go to episode number 25.
Just win, baby.
That's right, Al. Way to tell them. Keep in mind that these college hoops picks are primarily the opening numbers as I'm recording this Stoniecast the night before the games, so there will be some line movement the closer we get to tip-off tomorrow. So we'll get it started tomorrow. Here we go, noon Eastern on FS1 in our nation's capital, where Georgetown's 11.5-point home chalk over Seton Hall. Georgetown's lost 3 out of 4, and the Hall has dropped 6 in a row. This is an awfully big number to lay with a team that I have no confidence in, so give me the Hall plus 11.5. Noon Eastern on Big Fox at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. 9th-ranked Michigan State's a 7.5-point home favorite over Oregon. The Ducks have lost 4 straight and are really not playing well outside of Eugene, while Michigan State is thankful to be home after losing both games in La La Land to both USC and UCLA. MSU wins this one, but Oregon gets the cover. Ducks plus 7 and a hook. Noon Eastern on ESPN in Norman. 4th-ranked Tennessee's a 5-point road favorite at Oklahoma. Tennessee rebounded from losing 2 straight by winning 2 straight, though they're 1-3 to the number in their last 4. OU lost 2 out of 3, but those losses were on the road. They're a tough out in Norman. I'll keep betting against UT, and I'm going to roll with the home dog here. Sooners plus 5. Noon Eastern on the Deuce in Lexington. Number 14, Kentucky's 11.5-point home favorite versus South Carolina. Both teams right now are struggling.
Struggling.
What was that?
Struggling.
Wait, one more time?
Struggling.
Thanks, Joe. UK's dropped 4 out of 5 while USC's lost 5 in a row. Hey, I'm on a roll here with the early dogs, so why stop? Give me South Carolina here with 11 and a chunk. Noon Eastern on ESPN Plus in Ames. Number 8 Iowa State has jumped out to a 16.5-point home favorite versus TCU. State has inexplicably lost 3 straight, and TCU's won 2 in a row, but those were both in Fort Worth. Back in Ames, the Cyclones get back in the win column. In the win column, Joe Angel. Know your history. But they don't cover. TCU's dangerous, and they're catching 17. Yep, give me that candy. I'll take that. 5 straight dogs to start tomorrow. 1 Eastern on NBC in Iowa City. 21st ranked Wisconsin's a 3.5-point road chalk at Iowa. Wisconsin's looking good, and they've won 3 out of 4, while Iowa got to get right after dropping 5 out of 6. Carver Hawkeye Arena is just what they need. Iowa plus 3.5 with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
Attaboy. Tell him 40. Staying in the Big Ten, 1 Eastern on CBS in Bloomington. 24th ranked Michigan is a 2.5-point road favorite at Indiana. Michigan's cooking right now, right? They've won 4 out of 5, but they're 0-5 to the number during that stretch. IU's lost 4 in a row, but 3 were on the road. Now they're back at home. IU gets it done despite head coach Mike Woodson saying he's done at the end of the season. Who's your daddy? Plus 2.5 with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, Mike. Sprinkle.
There you go. Keep them coming. 1 Eastern on SEC Network. Right up the road here, Music City, USA. Vanderbilt is a 2-point home favorite over Texas. Neither team's playing particularly well, but at home, that's just what the Commodores need, and I can't possibly keep rolling with dogs all day. So I'll make Vandy my first chalk play tomorrow. Anchor down, minus 2.5. 2 Eastern on ESPN in the Little Apple of Manhattan. 16th ranked Kansas is a 4-point road favorite at Kansas State. KU hasn't been right this year, and State, after a rough start, has now ripped off 4 in a row in the tough Big 12. That stops here as the Jayhawks get it together. Kansas minus 4. A good Ivy League matchup at 2 Eastern on ESPN Plus in Ithaca has Yale, 3.5-point road favorite at Cornell. Both schools are 13-6, but Yale sits atop the standings right now with Cornell just a game behind. I like the Big Red here at home, catching 3 in a chunk. 2 Eastern on Big Fox in Omaha. Creighton's a 1.5-point home favorite over 11th ranked Marquette. This is a good matchup right here with 2 dangerous Big East schools located in the Midwest. Just still makes me laugh. Creighton and Marquette in the Big East. Whatever, it is what it is. As much as I like what Creighton has going on, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Marquette is still the play here. I'm going to take Marquette plus 1.5 with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, Mike.
Attaboy. 2 Eastern on the Deuce in Louisville. The Cardinals are a massive 18.5-point home favorite over Miami. Miami's a mess, and I learned my lesson about taking dogs against Louisville. Lay the wood here. Cardinals are the play, minus 18.5. 3:30 Eastern on SEC Network in Columbia. Number 15 Missouri is a short 2.5-point home favorite versus 10th ranked Texas A&M. Any other week, this would be the game of the weekend. But this isn't even the biggest game of the conference. Mizzou's playing really well right now, but I have a hard time wagering against Buzz Williams. I just can't do it. I'll take the Aggies and the 2.5 points right here with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, Mike.
There you go. 4 Eastern on ESPNU in Chapel Hill. North Carolina's a 4.5-point home favorite over Pittsburgh. Pitt had it rolling until a recent 2-game skid, while Carolina's just gone completely off the rails, though they've been off since last Saturday's blowout loss to Duke. That, along with UNC consistently being overvalued, makes me jump on Pitt here, catching 4.5 with a sprinkle.
Big timer.
Get it, 40.
Sprinkle me, Mike.
Attaboy. Game of the day, 4 Eastern on ESPN2 on the Plains, where top-ranked Auburn's an 8.5-point home favorite versus 6th-ranked Florida. The Gators were a buzzsaw until they were stymied in Knoxville last Saturday, but they rebounded by taking out Vanderbilt on Tuesday night. Auburn, however, is an entirely different beast and is looking every bit like the best team in the nation, with their lone loss being to Duke way back in November. 8.5 may seem a bit steep, but Auburn's on another level right now. Tigers minus 8 in the hook. 4 Eastern on Big Ten Network at Pauley Pavilion in Westwood. UCLA is an 8-point home favorite versus Penn State. Penn State's been scrappy while UCLA bounced back from a 4-game losing streak with all sorts of bickering and finger-pointing by winning 6 straight to right the ship. This one also may seem steep, but that's a long trip for the Nittany Lions to take to get their asses kicked. UCLA minus 8. 5 Eastern on ACC Network in Berkeley, a.k.a. the armpit of America. Wake Forest is a 2.5-point road favorite at Cal. Wake is playing well, and they look to take out both Bay Area schools after beating Stanford on Wednesday night. They will. Wake minus 2.5. 6 Eastern on Big Ten Network in Stoniapolis. 23rd ranked Illinois is a 9-point road favorite at Minnesota. Illinois hasn't looked good lately, and the Gophers are tough at home. Mini catching 9. That's the play. 6 Eastern on SEC Network in Athens. Georgia is a 1.5-point home favorite over 22nd ranked Mississippi State. Both schools have struggled lately, so I'm on the Bulldogs here at home, laying a point and a chunk. 6 Eastern on ESPN2 in the Queen City. Cincinnati's a 1.5-point home chalk over Brigham Young. Just when you think the Bearcats are done, they bounce back. Home cooking's what they need, but BYU's got other plans. I'm on the Cougars here, catching a 1.5 with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
Attaboy. 6:30 Eastern on ESPN in Clemson. Excuse me. Second-ranked Duke is a 7.5-point road favorite at Clemson. Duke is cruising right now, period. And they haven't lost yet in ACC play, while Clemson head coach Brian Brownell is now being talked about as a leading candidate for the open job in Indiana next season. Duke minus 7.5. 8:30 Eastern on SEC Network in Colin, Baton Rouge. 25th ranked Mississippi's a 5-point road favorite at Louisiana State. Chris Beard is doing Chris Beard things. He's winning. Ole Miss is a very good team that is more than holding their own in the rough and tough SEC, while LSU just continues to get humiliated. Ole Miss minus 5. 8:30 Eastern on ESPN in Fayetteville. Third-ranked Alabama's a 6-point road favorite at Arkansas. Calipari's given the Hogs a heartbeat after a rough start, but this is beyond him. Even at home, Roll Tide minus 6. 9 Eastern on ESPN Plus in La La Land. San Francisco's a 4-point road favorite at Loyola Marymount. USF's coming off their huge win over St. Mary's last night. You're welcome, one of my winners. But Loyola has been a surprise this year and plays well at home. I've been riding USF this season, but not here. LMU catching 4 at home. 10 Eastern on the Deuce in Corvallis. St. Mary's a 4-point road chalk at Oregon State. St. Mary's suffered their first loss in the city by the Bay last night, and now they're in Corvallis where OSU just took out Washington State. Doesn't matter. Gales get back on track with a W and a cover. SMC minus 4. 10:30 Eastern on Big Ten Network in Seatown. Shout out Mix-a-Lot. Washington's a 1.5-point home favorite versus Northwestern. Neither school has truly found their footing this year, and Northwestern's just not that good on the road. Huskies minus 1.5. And finally, after hitting 2 straight degenerate specials, this week's version of the late night Get Right goes at 10:30 Eastern on ESPN at the McHale Center in Tucson, where Arizona's a 2.5-point home chalk over 13th ranked Texas Tech. Zona, the McHale Center, Tucson. It's always been tough. Though Grant McCaslin has done an amazing job in Lubbock and leaves Tucson with a W. Tech plus 2.5 with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
Attaboy. That's it. That's all I got for you. 27 plays for a crazy Super Bowl Eve that I'm confident in dropping a big number on. Super Bowl prop picks. Ready for them? Super Bowl prop picks come before the side and the total, so let's get it started with some fun / controversial prop bets for Super Sunday. I'm going to start with the Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown scoring an anytime touchdown at plus 175. That's simply too good of a value for too good of a player. Every year I get on the length of the national anthem, and I lost on it last year after hitting 3 straight. John Batiste is singing the national anthem, and there's a good bet that a piano is going to be involved. The number's 121 seconds, and I'm going over 2 minutes and 1 second at even money. Both at 110, both at minus 110, the distance of Patrick Mahomes' first touchdown pass is 9.5 yards. I'm going with under. Another one that I bet on every year is the color of the Gatorade bath. The odds are purple at plus 175 because that was the winning color the last 2 years. Yellow-green plus 200, blue plus 600, orange plus 750, red or pink 1100, and clear 1200. Excuse me. I'm going with orange at plus 750. Period. I'm going to take the Chiefs wideout Xavier Worthy getting over 1.5 rushing attempts, plus 115. Just give him the ball twice. For Saquon Barkley's longest reception, I'm going to take over 8.5 at minus 122. One little swing pass out of the backfield, 9-yard gain, winner. Staying with Barkley, the public seems to like his longest rush over 25.5 yards. Not me. I'll take under minus 110. Patrick Mahomes' total rushing yards, I'll take over 31.5 at minus 110. He has a better chance of running against Philly's defense than Isaiah Pacheco or Kareem Hunt do. I'm going to Travis Kelce under 61.5 receiving yards at minus 105. What'll be the outcome of the Eagles' first drive in Super Bowl 59? Offensive touchdown plus 200, field goal attempt plus 350, punt plus 140, and any other outcome plus 650, I'll take punt plus 140. Will both teams score 10 plus points in the first half? I'm saying yes, plus 120. Will there be a successful 2-point conversion? Yes is 260, but I'm going no at minus 350. I'm going to take under 12.5 total players with a reception for plus 130. Means 13 players are going to have to catch a pass in order for that to be a loser. Will either team go for it on fourth down in their own territory? I'm saying yes with an Eagles tush push at minus 115. That's 15 props, which are more than enough action for you if the side and the total start going south. Now, ready? Let's move on to the game itself. Super Bowl 59. Sunday at 6:30 Eastern on Fox at the Superdome in the Big Easy, where the Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites over the Eagles and the total set at 48.5. Number hasn't moved. It's been set. I think it opened at 1 a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But 1.5, it's been set there. Kansas City took out Houston in the divisional round and the Bills in the AFC Championship after cruising to the NFL's best record of 15-2 during the regular season. The Eagles have only lost once since the beginning of October and took out the Packers in the wild card, the Rams in the divisional round, and Washington in the NFC Championship. These two teams are a combined 4-0-1 against the number in the playoffs. I gave the Chiefs shit all year for not covering. And they went through a 9-game stretch in which they didn't cover a number because they were struggling. That's right, Joe. Thanks, Joe. But aside from the regular season finale, when they tanked against Denver, KC has quietly covered 5 straight. In breaking down the game, the advantages on the Eagles' side are scary because they're everywhere. Better O-line, better D-line, better running backs, better wideouts, better tight ends, better secondary, and better linebackers. Everywhere you look. I believe that the only advantages the Chiefs have is place kicker Harrison Butker, Patrick Mahomes, and head coach. Is that enough for the Chiefs to secure a three-peat? Trademark Pat Riley. Both defensive coordinators kind of cancel each other out, in my opinion. Steve Spagnuolo gets the credit, but nobody talks about the job that Vic Fangio's done in Philly. As much shit as I've given Nick Sirianni over the years, he's still got Stoniecast to their second Super Bowl in 3 years. But Andy Reid is still the gold standard right now in the post-Bill Belichick world. Philly's defensive front is elite, and they don't need to blitz a lot because Jalen Carter is the man. Yeah, he's been dealing with a cold, but he's healthy and he's ready to go now, right? And he's just a game wrecker. The guys on the edge, watch out. Josh Sweat and especially Nolan Smith Jr., they're the ones that set that corner so Mahomes won't be able to get outside, right? Their job's to make Patrick Mahomes' life miserable, right? My belief is that the national media and the NFL wants Mahomes to be the next Tom Brady so bad that sure, they get the calls and they get the love, but even with a win on Sunday, Mahomes will have 4 compared to Brady's 7. However, Mahomes will have a three-peat, trademark Pat Riley, which Brady never accomplished. And as much as the public doesn't seem to want it, the media in the NFL wants it badly. Spagnuolo could very well be the most important factor in this game. Whether or not his Chiefs defense can slow down Saquon Barkley. That's the bottom line. If they do, the Chiefs may run away with this. But I don't see that happening because of not only the way Philly's offensive line controls the line of scrimmage, but their defensive line does as well. As for me, I look at as what's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Are my balls big enough to bet against the Chiefs for the 3rd straight year? I honestly believe that the Battle of the Trenches wins the Super Bowl every year. And that's why the Chiefs have won the last 2. But Stoniecast will win the Battle of the Trenches this week. But I've lost too many games and too many times to Patrick Mahomes. Is it the best roster? That would be Philly. Or is it the team that always finds a way? Call me crazy, and many of you do. Most of you do. But give me the Chiefs, -1.5 and under 48.5 to close out the year in football with a 24-20 win. Yeah, no more football until college football's infamous Week 0 goes in August. That's it. That's all I got for you, right? Make sure to check back in the comments section for daily hoops picks. Every day I'm going to drop them on you like I've been doing this week. I'm already 2-1 today. Check back next Friday. Stoniecast 164 will be coming back at you. And it's that time of year to shift my focus exclusively to college hoops. So until then, just remember that if you want to win big, you got to bet big. You can't go broke taking a profit. Scared money don't make money. For me, the action is the juice. The difference between winning and making money is that anyone can win betting chalk, but you can't make money unless you take the dogs. Do you want to win or do you want to make money? There's a big difference. You decide. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. Miss you, Gooch, my brother.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.